Us Scots love a lot about Scotland. We love everything from our history to our buckfast, our iron brew to our weather, but most of all, we love a bit of banter.
Oh, hang the suppers. We're paying for the banter.
But does our unique sense of humour make us who we are? Do us Scots even have a particularly unique sense of humour? And if so, where does it come from?
Why did the crab get kicked out of the bar? He's been at all that. Right.
Only no data. Oh, just only no.
What did the Frenchman say when the tide came in? Ah, merci.
I think major cities should play up to their stereotypes on the billboards, advertising your city, show them real people like we, mental Davy. Apprentice joiner. Father of 6.
It is said that Scots have a good sense of humour because it's free. A lot of Scottish comedy has originated from the stereotypes the comedian and hall entertainer Will Fife brought to life back in the 30s and 40s. Fife created characters based on stereotypes such as the Glasgow drunk, the village idiot, the sailor, the centenarian and the railway guard to entertain his audiences, which is a tactic we still see in comedy today with Scottish comedy sketch shows like Chewing the Fat.
And now it's time for Arts News. Interpreting for the Neds tonight, Rab McGlinchey.
How you doing?
Into his second night at the centre of the contemporary muse in St Andrews is controversial Melbourne performance artist Steinway Samhurst. He'll be exhibiting extracts from his seminal work, Band Arts.
That's right, it's a big mad Aussie dude, man, right? He's half his chump, right? He's doing this mad shuggling about and all that. Can't remember what the show's called, but Arse Bandit, I think that's it.
But going back to whether or not us Scots even have a unique sense of humour, we asked some comedians their thoughts on Scottish comedy.
I think Scottish comedy is quite dark and quite bleak. Like, I really like Lemmy, and I think even though he doesn't do stereotypical ultra Scottish comedy, I like him because it's still dark in quite a Scottish way. So I think that's the main thing, is Scottish comedy is quite dark and to the point, or the stuff I like is, anyway. I think the number of comedians in general is growing because there's more and more TV comedy. So it never used to be seen as a job that you could do, and then obviously because there's people like Frankie Boyle and Kevin Bridges, I've noticed a lot of the young Glaswegian comedians are trying to be like that. I definitely think there's a type of Scottish humour, and there's certain material that I'll just do up here, whereas if I'm gigging in England or Ireland, I'll do different jokes. So there's definitely a sense of humour that's particular to Scotland.
This couple of wee guys were coming up and they were like, that was brilliant, big man, that was brilliant. So I was just talking away to them and stuff. They went, what are you up to after this? I was like, so I could just probably go for a few beers here before I got up the road. And they're like, do you know what, I come up the Arches with us? The Arches and the Arches nightclub. I was like, I'm not sure then. Just come up this morning, fucking I'm like, so I'm getting carried away thinking, yes, I'm fucking one of the boys. One of the boys. These wee guys and me, we're the same. They're about 19, right? And you're like, I'm like, they're paedophile, that's for fucking, well, they're groomer, right?
I used to think Scottish humour was a bit unique and a bit different, because I think I used to think Scottish humour was like the Irish humour, sort of be a lot of storytelling, a lot longer stuff, faffing about. Not so much one-liners that I used to think maybe more English acts would be. I don't know now if it is so different. I think, but within that, I think Glasgow humour is different from a lot of the other humour, even in Scotland. I think we're more self-deprecating, we can laugh at ourselves a lot easier than maybe our posh cousins in the East. It helps that there's a lot more people doing comedy now. Yeah, like, so obviously the law averages is that if you're travelling, I mean, at the end of the day, funny's funny. Yeah, it's just a case of getting them to understand the language. Yeah, but a lot of stuff Kevin does is universal humour, you know, so it's just, I'm sure if he does it in any country, it'll be funny.
So it seems that us Scots have quite a dark sense of humour, but maybe this sense of humour is generally situated in Glasgow rather than our nation as a whole. Or even the humour we have can be shared universally, as funny is funny anywhere you go.
It's when you travel down south and you tell people you're from Glasgow, they get quite excited. They go, Glasgow, yeah, it's really quite rough, isn't it? Really violent, yeah. And you kind of get proud. And you go, oh aye, oh aye. Yeah, a lot of tough guys. Oh aye, a lot of tough guys. Yeah. And they visit the place and they're a bit disappointed.
So we went to the heart of Glasgow to ask some Glaswegians if they thought us Scots have a unique sense of humour.
Definitely. Yeah, especially Glasgow. I think they're always the funniest.
Yeah, I find Scottish comedy unique because I think it's a lot more offensive and a lot more relatable than other comedies across the world.
I think it's quite sarcastic as well, and I think like Scottish people generally enjoy a good bit of sarcasm.
But it kind of differs on the region, I think. Glaswegian comedy is a lot more offensive than, say, like Edinburgh comedy, because when you compare like stand-up shows, Edinburgh comedy's a lot more tame and a lot more polite in that way.
But I do like, so Glasgow comedy, yeah, I like it.
Edinburgh's alright.
Edinburgh's alright.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Yeah. I'd say so. I'd think they do, yeah. It's a different dialect. Comedy's totally different from anything I've seen in the world. Obviously it's pretty harsh, sometimes people don't understand it, but I like it.
I think Glaswegian banter is quite funny, you know, we've got that banter that nobody else really knows of. It's quite personal between us, and you know, we can insult people and have a laugh about it and not take it too serious. I think that unique style of banter is quite funny.
Yeah, I definitely like, because I think Scottish and Glasgow comedy is so harsh sometimes, and it is quite brutal, but we get that and we find it funny. So.
Well, I find offensive humour funny.
Shocking things, like see things that just catch you off the bat and you're like, oh my god, did I just say that? Like,
see when you've been see when you're like a pure cunny funt like me and you say funny things every day, you just get sick of everything. So the more shocking, the
There's
better.
Not
because
really
I'm not
a lot of
used to
things that would offend me. Like, I like things. So if something does offend me, I actually find it funny. I'm like, I don't know if I can say
that. That's offensive, Danielle. I loved it.
No, like, yeah. So like, offensive things are good.
It's all like the sort of Scottish tweets that you see, like on the Scottish pages on Twitter and things like that, like just typical things that not any other country would get. I think that's the funniest part of it, that a lot of countries don't get it.
So what does make Scotland buckle? Our humour seems to be built around our own nation's stereotypes and having the ability to laugh at ourselves and even be offensive and harsh. A massive part of it relates back to our unique use of language. But the general consensus here would be that it is Glaswegians that have the unique sense of humour, rather than our nation as a whole. Though Glaswegians are defiantly proud of the banter they share, is it really just shared between them? As someone who isn't Glaswegian myself, I've experienced this unique harsh banter all over Scotland and feel that Scotland's ability to laugh at ourselves, even when times are tough, is a very important part of who we are.
I ever took an ecstasy. I was like, do you know who I used to be?
What kind of biscuit you can fly? What? A wee plain one.
I think I can smell shite. Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
Who's the coolest guy in the hospital? The ultrasound guy. And who's the coolest guy when he's away? The hip replacement guy.
Does that mean we can't get a mortgage in?
Her hair. That's a joke. There you go.